I'll guarantee you.
Top of the fourth, Robbinsville's got some makings up to do here in Copper Hill,
That
Tennessee.
pad just paid
9-3
for itself, son.
is your
Woo!
score,
That would have hurt me.
and that is in favor of the home team,
That house
the
just.
Copper Basin Cougars. Kevin Isley with you on behalf of the Ramstar Sports
I think
Network.
you have to move.
I make jokes all the time that our coverage knows no limits, but apparently Data Limits is one of the ones that knows. Held up trying to get everything going here and finally set to go. Beautiful late April evening here in Polk County, Tennessee.
Hey, did you put your onion
Addison
in your
Hook
pocket?
is on the hill right now
Don't
for
forget about
Copper
it.
Basin.
Wash it.
Robbinsville having a great run here lately, 6-2 over the last 8 games. Knights are threatening to reach the 500 mark for the first time this year. And really for the first time since early last year. Knights finished last campaign 7-11. We're hoping we will be able to pull up our live stats, but nothing, as we said, is cooperating, so can't really catch up speed too much. You saw the events of the bottom of the third play out. At the plate for the Knights is Bryce Garrison. We call it the plate, and I believe that runs the count full to 3 balls, 2 strikes. It does, says our home plate umpire. Before we were able to push the live button, we had a couple of fun foul balls that flew out here behind us. That ball's going to stay fair. Hook will have to play it, and West got the out. Garrison was running so hard he toppled over after touching the bag. Could not beat it out, unfortunately. And that will bring up Luke Lovin to the plate, who, as we said, was the starting pitcher. One thing that has really hurt the sport, depending on your perspective of it, of course, is this pitch count rule that the High School Athletic Association instituted several years ago. I believe it was in the 2018 season when it first began in North Carolina. It's applicable to any team from North Carolina, so even if they're playing in Tennessee, they got to obey the pitch count rules. The home plate umpire is taking several good licks today.
I'm laughing with you, not at you, sir.
Yes, I appreciate it. Good.
That right there is why the padding is worn in the first place. That's about the second or third hard foul ball that has careened off of him. As we were mentioning, there were a couple of fun ones right before we went live that sent fans scattering right over here to our left. They ultimately decided to relocate their lawn chairs. The life they saved could have been their own. Delivers low to Luke Lovin. We're about round to the top of the lineup. Graylin Orr is in the on-deck circle for Robbinsville. Knights were hot in the top of the first, as we said. They scored all 3 of their runs to this point. Lovin leans out of the way of that one, but it was called a strike. No scoreboard here at Basin, so keep track of the game as best we can. Eyes can't stray too much. Foul ball goes into the net and somehow found a way through the top of it. Holy smokes. For some reason, Haley Lovin didn't offer to make the play there. Or Crystal Buchanan, but that's all right. Onward we go. Pitch to Lovin. Check swing. And they're going to say he went. 2 outs for top of the lineup card in Graylin Orr. This is at bat number 3 for the game for Mr. Orr.
Good.
It's shady in it.
Foul back to the net. That one fouled back. Well, Eleanor has gotten one thing down pat, and that is peppering the perimeter of this ballpark. Foul balls left to right, up and down.
One comes over this way.
Or another junior for Robbinsville. They are a junior heavy ball club. 4 seniors this year. We'll see one of them next if the inning continues.
Is he not waiting too long?
Quick pause on the hill, give them time to let Mr. Orr step out of the batter's box for a moment. Outside or laid off of it. Our only baseball telecast of the week will be with the Lady Knights tomorrow and Saturday. You can buy access to those games right now here on Graham Star Sports. Or chops it foul. Stays alive. Robbinsville will welcome Andrews tomorrow. First pitch will be at 4:30. Saturday's game against AC Reynolds has been moved up to a 3 p.m. first pitch. So if you get on the stream and you see it's supposed to start at 2, don't panic. We will be live, I promise. Or up and in, raise the arms to get out of the way of it, ball 4. And that will now bring up Luke Lovin. Or excuse me, Caleb Turpin to the plate. And a quick pause over here. Cougars delivering some much-needed baseballs back to the field. Cleanup efforts going on all around us right now. So it'll be the senior right fielder for Robbinsville at the plate now. Caleb Turpin steps in. First pitch from Hook is right down the belt line. 0-1. Good pitch. Start the at bat. And with that, folks, appreciate all of you being with us. Normally we have things up and running well ahead of schedule. That was not the case today. Ground ball to first base, and Zeb West will run it out for the 3 unassisted to end Robbinsville's 4th inning. Nowhere closer to catching up. We'll go to the bottom of the frame. Can they hold them? 9-3 Cougars here on GrahamStarSports.com. Get back on there with you live, folks, from Copper Basin High School. 9-3 Cougars is where we sit as we go into the bottom of the 4th here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Zeb West leads off for the Cougars. Second inning work begins for Ethan Orr, who started the game in center field, number 2 on the pitching rotation. Robbinsville also plays Andrews tomorrow at home. Pitch at Loudon Orr will Memorial Field will be at 4:30. Let's put a charge into that one to center field, but playable for Bryce Garrison. And that's first out of the frame. To the plate is Bryce Walden for the Cougars. I don't believe we have a softball game going on today. Last time we were here, Copper Basin was hosting a school in baseball, and Robbinsville played up above us here in softball action. Defeated the Lady Cougars 16-5. That was on March 20th. Out the zone, we're trying to locate here in the bottom of the fourth. And the pitch will be outside. Count runs to 2 balls and a strike. Pitch coming. Golfs it off with the 5-iron into right field. Caleb Turpin will be right there to cut it off after a couple of skips. And Cougars kind of get something else started here in the inning after a 7-run bottom of the third. Batter will be Kahutta Brown for Copper Basin. It's about a 2-step lead now. Swing and a miss by Brown. He broke out the pitching wedge, coming up empty. 0-1. Bunt laid down. It will trickle foul. Quinn Jumper comes in from off frame. Hauls it back in.
Hey, 2 on now.
Strikeout. Kahutta Brown will sit down, and that is out number 2. Isaac Deal, the batter for Robbinsville, or excuse me, Copper Basin, here in the bottom of the fourth. Dirt ball 1. Walden thought about going, changed his mind. Roped into the outfield. Luke Lovin, now in left, will get it back in. Fly ball center field. Garrison lets it drop on a hop. He's going to throw a lob to home. It's just off the mark, or they might have actually had Walden there, but he'll score the 10th Copper Basin run here in the bottom of the fourth.
Right there. He's coming up the barrel. Right there? Right down. Right, yeah, right there.
Be smart, 6. Be smart.
Carson Brown gets to second unscathed. At the plate is Avery Crowder for the Cougars. Ryder got under that one, left field shallow, and it drops because Lovin and Orr had a miscommunication. It's 11-3. Those are falling off for Robbinsville. After the Knights started the game with a 3-0 lead. Cougars have scored 11 unresponded to. That one chops through the field. Jumper let it go because he thought Orr was there, but Orr was covering the bag on the hit and run. Runners at the corners for Cade Dean. Bench runner will be, or excuse me, courtesy runner, beg your pardon, coming in for Hook. Is Keegan Sullivan. They'll trot over to first base. Outside, 1-0 is the count. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Kate Dean. Comes up empty. Count should be a ball and 2 strikes, I believe. One chopped. Jumper placed on a hop throw to Lathan Buchanan. Will get there in time. That will do it. Cougars tack on 2 more for good measure. Depending on your perspective, we'll go to the 5th. Your score, Robbinsville 3 and the Cougars 11. Top of the 5th, it is 11-3, and senior Lathan Buchanan will step up to the plate.
Come here now. Hey, come here.
Knights have got to get something going here. McFadden in a hurry. Their time may be nigh. Low and in the dirt. Off the plate. Chopped hard to the shortstop. Buchanan fell, as did the shortstop, and Buchanan went out. Super wide throw coming in desperation from Isaac Deal. Interference. Yeah. But interference will actually give Buchanan to second base. Big update from our middle school Lady Knights, who are now 5-2 this year, defeating Andrews 24-1. Presley Kaler hitting a home run in the game. Have not heard anything from baseball yet. That's a doubleheader today. The games were originally scheduled to be played on Friday and bumped up a day, I'm assuming because of umpire shortage. Cannot confirm that. It's purely speculation. Ethan Orr chops that one foul. Cody George offered at it, changed his mind. Up the game today, but of course the middle school baseball team did not end up playing injuries on Tuesday during the home tilt either.
No.
An umpire shortage cancellation at the last minute, so they decided doubleheader today at Andrews Middle School.
Go, Ethan.
Or the big swing and a miss, steps out to get his composure, gets it back. Buchanan leads off from second. The pitch, chopped foul. Crowder can't find it. Buchanan won't take off. Fly ball right center field, right in the gap. Boy, that was beautiful by Ethan Orr. Buchanan lumbers around third. He'll come dashing home, and at the plate, he's under the tag. And the Knights chip away. It's 11-4 now. RBI double for Eeyore, as they call him. Yeah, there's disadvantages to sit behind the plate, too. I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, right in front of my production. Right in front of this big, elaborate, multi-million-dollar production. I'm just joking. I love your shirt, by the way. That is awesome. So that brings senior Alex Knight to the dish. First pitch is going to be low, ball one. Every rally's got to start somewhere, right? That's down by 8, now down by 7. There you'll have it. Base hit to left field, bobbled on the fielding job. And Tucker Rose just cost the Cougars 11-5 now. And things are getting interesting here in Copper Hill. Good vibes rolling here. With Quinn Jumper at the plate. In the dirt. Knight gets back. He made it back. Was it graceful? No, but he got back. Did you catch that, Mom? He started to walk back to the bag, and he realized it was going to be close, and he leapt and landed straight on top of the base. Gorgeous.
They're after you, Alex.
Pitch coming to Jumper. He'll hack it. And it'll be in left field. Good play made by Rhodes. Alex Knight will trot back to first. And that'll bring up the starting small forward. He's the main forward for Robbinsville. That's Bryce Adams, catcher today for the Knights. Robbinsville's getting back into the thick of things here, down by 6 now. Gotta hope the defense can hold them, so to speak, in the bottom of the 5th and keep their hopes alive. Hook will step off and snap throw to first. Alex Knight is back in time.
He's taking too long.
Back to the backstop. Knight advances on the wild pitch.
Work back there, can't
Here, son.
And Zeb West makes the unassisted out at first base. Adams is out, number 2. Bryce Garrison trots up, hoping to get Alex Knight home as he moved up on the sacrifice. 1 base away.
Oh,
And error will bring Knight home. That throwing error gets by the third baseman.
He's trying to get home plate.
Well, now the Knights have cut the deficit in half. They're down by 5. 11-6 now the score. Garrison will take the pitch outside.
Oh,
come on.
Balls, 1 strike. Stokes offering. Base is empty now for the Knights. But 3 have come home, so not all hope lost yet. Still plenty of ball game to play. Outside, excuse me.
Oh my goodness.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
that's what I told
Garrison
him.
thought that was ball 4. And that one's going to be popped up right in his hands. Catch made by Isaac Dill. That will end the inning. Robbinsville plates 3 and cuts it down to a 5-run deficit. We'll go to the bottom of the inning. It's 11-6. You're watching the Graham Star Sports Network. First pitch fouled off here in the bottom of the 5th. Let's get that scoreboard tweaked. Should update here in just a short. There we go. Cougars are batting. Ethan Orr back out for his 3rd inning of work. And he got Len down to chase one outside. Thank you very much. 3 pitches and a strikeout for Eeyore to begin things here in the bottom of the 5th. Zeb West, the batter.
Here, let's take this guy back here. Job, Ethan.
And West chops that one foul. Nothing but strikes so far for Ethan Orr here in the bottom of the 5th. Good to see that. And that one missed. Ball the frame. Still have 1 and 2.
I don't know what it is.
And there's another foul ball that will disappear into the thicket. I don't know that I'd be brave enough to go in there and try to find that ball, but good luck. We're all counting on you. Check swing, pops off the net. Now it's still a ball and 2 strikes.
You know, here, before this boy's gonna bat it good.
Think he's gonna hit it?
West steps out as Orr was going into his motion and granted time.
Watch it. No.
The cadence off a little bit. Orr's good to go now. Here's the 1-2. It'll be fouled off again. Battle rages on.
Come on, let's go.
Orr climbs back atop the hill.
see Big Adrian. He got a walk. Yeah. You don't sit down there with me.
Sit down here and watch this game.
Long at bat here, still 2-2 now. West grounds it to Graylin Orr, and it gets right under Orr's glove. He struggled to get the glove on the ground today. And West will be safe and sound at first base for Bryce Walden.
Okay.
Upstairs, ball 1. Swing and a miss. One ball, one strike. Outside, 2 balls now, 1 strike. Swing and a miss by Walden. Counts even now, 2-2. And that won't get away from Bryce Adams. West didn't even think about taking off. And low and in is going to be ball 4. Cougars have 2 on now. Here's the leadoff man, Kahutta Brown. 11-5 your score here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Brown is going to catch the zone, 0-1. One thing about it, folks, depending on who you're cheering for, it's a consistent strike zone. Swing and a miss makes it 0-2. Here at the ball field, praying that sun drops a little lower behind this tree line behind us. And I believe that was a ball. Well, Brown was going back to the dugout, but everybody will try it again. Ball and 2 strikes. Isaac Deal. And yeah, it's in on deck circle, excuse me. Brown does get sat down. Like a delay in Graham County, he's handed a K. He'll step into frame here. Runners at first and second for Copper Basin. Here's the pitch. Chopped up the line. Jumper plays it off a hop. He gets the force out and the final out. So a pair of strikeouts and a trot to third takes care of the Cougars. They strand 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs come home. That's important. Robbinsville's chipping away. It's 11-6 here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Top of the 6th, it's 11-6 here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Kevin Hensley with you from Copper Hill, Tennessee. Got our bearings about us finally. Luke Lovin hits one to the shortstop. Isaac Dill went for a transfer and insufficient funds. It'll be an E6. Lovin reaches. Graylin Orr will now step in. Lovin is leading off from first. Caleb Turpin in the on deck circle. As expected, Lovin's off to the races. Good throw, and they got him. Thank you very much. Dill was right there for the reception from Avery Crowder, and Luke Lovin caught stealing 2-6. They get him on, and he set right down. Nice in desperation mode, trying to get runs across. They're running out of outs, so to speak. And Graylin Orr, little ticked off about that hit by pitch, and word's being exchanged here. And language on the field very inappropriate or has been thrown out of the game.
He's the only one that's been hit. Yes.
Orr's been hit by just about every pitch. He's had his throw to him today. Coaches are not too thrilled with that. Orr's been ejected. He'll have to go. I believe he'll have to go back to the team bus. How that rule works. Or at least leave the stadium.
He got tossed.
Wow. What's next?
He let it go.
The conferences will continue. Things got very heated, escalated quickly. Orr's been hit by a pitch 2 times today, I believe. I got that right, 3 times. So frustrated as he was,
Hey, let's play ball.
some colorful language might have disqualified him from the remainder of the ball game. They've called Preston Phillips out of the dugout to run for Orr because the base runner can still stay in even if the player themselves is ejected. Caleb Turpin will come in. Phillips honestly may have to stay in the game and play at this point. There's a JV game scheduled for after this. Hopefully it won't be a brouhaha. 1 out, and Turpin will chop it to second base. Phillips steps over it, but it hit him as he's in action, so he's going to be out. It's actually a fielder's choice, I believe. There's only, there's only 2 outs. Cougars are leaving the field. And the umpire is saying that Turpin would have been out. So I guess they're going to call him out and interference. So interesting into the top of the 6th here in Copper Basin. Discussions continue. Grant Eisenhower is not going to win this argument, I don't believe. Knight's defense is already back out. A lot of frustrations coming from that first base dugout. Oh boy, it's 11-6, folks. We'll stay with it here on GramstarSports.com. Don't you dare go away. Bottom of the 6th. Odd as it may be that we're here, 11-6 on the Gramstar Sports Network. Knights are 3 outs away from dropping and splitting the season series with the Cougars. Things got a little heated if you were with us just now on the top of the 6th. Jumper to first. Harrison Brown will be out by a step. Good play. Bang, bang over at first. 1 out for Avery Crowder. We'll run through the top of the 6th real quick, folks, just to summarize what happened. Luke Lovin reached base and was immediately caught stealing on the first pitch offered to Graylin Orr. Orr was then hit by a pitch. And after some, heated discussion, say that, was disqualified from the game. Preston Phillips come in to pitch run.
Ready now.
And Caleb Turpin grounded to second base at that point. Phillips was trying to, of course, move to second. Ran into the ball, and the umpires deemed that it would have been a double play, so
Take one for
the
the team,
Knights'
dude.
unusual top of the 6th ended.
Hit it, Avery. Come on.
Ethan Orr's pitch to Crowder is popped up foul and disappears in the thicket.
You can. Go straight there and back.
Outside.
It was down, so. He just not found it.
High ball blistered to left center
Come on,
field. Crowder pokes into the gap. And the Knights were not ready for that from the backstop. It's a double for Avery Crowder here in the bottom of the sixth. And the pitcher, Addison Hook, will step up to the plate. Pitch low and in the dirt. Off a hop. Adams did stop it, but Crowder obviously fired up at the moment, makes it to third base. Counts 2-0. Crowder at third. 3-0 now, or excuse me, 2-1, excuse me. I think got a call there. Crowder at third. 1 out. Hook swinging for the fences. Come up empty. If he'd connected, he'd have sent it back across the state line. Instead, it's 2-2. And strike 3. Well, Oregon we chase back-to-back pitches up and away, and that is out number 2. A Dean will step in for the Cougars, hoping to get Crowder home. 11-6 is your score. Foul ball.
He's out.
And there are no more balls available for replenishment.
Picking up all those balls. Right up there.
It'll take a polling weed eater to find the majority of them. Course finally got one, and we'll resume 0-1 the count. Upstairs, Adams going to chase him back up the line. Looks him all the way back to the bag. 1-1 the count.
They picked it up, took it that way. That little kid.
Outside.
He just gave it to the other coach over there, man.
And Crowder keeps tempting
He took that too.
Bryce Adams at the plate just enough for him to bite on it.
They just got it in.
Counts 2-1. Swing and a miss. He tipped it though. Excuse me. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's got a piece of it.
Okay.
Sliver of it if you'll have it. Outside count. Runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Once again, apologize for not getting us up and running sooner. Everything that could go wrong did. That's typically how these days play out. Gotta get it up and running by first pitch. We sincerely apologize. We're glad you're with us. We stream 5 Varsity Sports for Robbinsville and normally do it on time. And he turned on that one early and sent it to the Ocoee River. Count still full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and that will bring an end to the 6th inning. So we'll go to the 7th. It's now or never for Robbinsville, 11-6. Cougars lead. And there's a good one right at the top of his hands. Fly ball left center field. Good play made on the run, though, to bring it in for out number 1. Nicely done by Kate Dean for the Cougars. And Ethan Orr will come up now for Robbinsville, batting in the cleanup hole today. Alex Knight is due up next.
See, watch him. He's waiting so long.
Orr taking his time. Finally, he's going to get back into the batter's box. The pitch. Absolutely launched, but he goes foul. Lands in the pine trees. 0-1. He had teed off on par 4. He'd have been all right. As we mentioned, back-to-back telecasts coming tomorrow and Saturday. Special Saturday softball game here on Gramstar Sports. Robbinsville hosting AC Reynolds at now 3 p.m. As unfortunately Mother Nature looms in the forecast for Saturday morning. They're hoping they can get the field prepped if they got the extra hour to do it. Chance of rain's not terrible, but there's a chance. Team coming away from Asheville will make sure they're able to play. Andrews will be in town at 4:30 tomorrow. We'll have both games right here on Gramstar Sports. Outside, low and away. The sponsor, folks, that we don't get to think enough, they're not on our sponsor loop because, well, they don't have a graphic. But we want to give a special shout out to Coy Adams Timber Company for helping also make Gramstar Sports a possibility all year long. We look to keep this puppy rolling along into the fall. Volleyball and football will be here in just about, you imagine this, 3.5 months.
See what he's doing? Something's got to give.
Seeing Katie Phillips and her team first, and the Black Knights, of course, will pick up action about third, fourth Friday in August. Chopped high off the infield, or will trot it out. Fate sealed there on the 4-3, 2 gone. And it's up to senior Alex Knight if Robbinsville is going to end this one in the win column. Knights have had chances. They've had base runners. They scored 3 in the first, and they scored 3 in the fifth, and that's it. Basin has peppered out these 11 runs across the ball game. 7 of them, however, came in the third. Wind jumper is in the on deck circle. Knight turns out of the way of that one. Zeb West giving his pitcher a little bit of a hard time. Here's the offering. Swing on and missed. Counts 1-1. We do have JV action up next. We don't ever stay live for JV. We'll have to sign off at that point. Hoping to make the trip over here today and bring you a much better outcome, but Robbinsville may be out of chances here. Knight swings and misses. He's still alive. It's not over till it's over. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Hold on now, hold on.
And he swings and misses. Strike 3. And I believe that is your ball game. It is. Final score will be Copper Basin 11, Robbinsville 6. Knights will meet here with the Cougars at midfield here in just a moment. Not the outcome the Knights wanted. They'll end up splitting the season series with Copper Basin.
I'm playing that once with Knight.
Appreciate you, everyone, being with us here on GramstarSports.com. Again, fans, we are very sorry we could not get the telecast rolling any sooner today than we did once we got up and running. Basin unloaded runs, 7 of them in the third, 11 overall. Robbinsville with frames of 3 and 3 just could not keep pace, even though Robbinsville started the game with a 3-0 lead. So that'll drop the White Knights to 6 and 9 on the season. Back home tomorrow for a 4:30 first pitch against Andrews at Loudonor Memorial Field. As we said, fans, we will be at the softball field on the other side of the campus in Robbinsville at Judy Nichols Memorial Field for Lady Knights and Lady Wildcats softball. And tomorrow's game will be followed by 2 p.m. first pitch Saturday, 3 p.m. against AC Reynolds. We hope you'll tune in. We'll be up and running in plenty of time, I assure you, on GramstarSports.com. Until next time, folks, have a great rest of your Thursday evening. This is Kevin Hensley signing off from Copper Hill, Tennessee.